All right, welcome in to a special edition of the Jordy Culotta team. Today here is one of our guys from the NIL and a transfer into LSU. We got two transfers sitting in on our set here today, and two guys expected to make huge impacts in their first year at LSU. It is awesome to welcome aboard Miles Frazier, offensive lineman, and LSU defensive tackle Mekhi Wingo, all SEC freshman from Missouri. And of course, Miles transferred in the offseason as well. It's great to have you two on set, man. Thank y'all for joining us.
Appreciate you for having us.
Absolutely. Miles, let's start with you, man. Take me kind of through the process on how you ended up in Baton Rouge. What was it like getting here? I know that you were one of the most coveted players in the transfer portal when you announced that you were going in. What was it about LSU that made you end up here?
So really, LSU came into the process late with all the coaching change situations and stuff like that. I've been following Coach Kelly for a very long time. So basically, like when I got that opportunity, I really couldn't pass it up because I've seen Coach Davis' history with offensive linemen, and I've seen Coach Kelly's history with offensive linemen. And to be honest, wherever he went is more like O-line U, I would say.
Yeah.
So I feel as though that the combination of both can develop me more than any of those other coaches or schools could develop me to be the best like I could be.
I don't know if your versatility was something that you saw. I think everybody thought you were going to be a left tackle, but now coming out of spring to see you at guard, I think really kind of shows your value and your worth. I guarantee you NFL scouts are looking at that saying, wow, that's big. How was that transition for you?
At first it was hard. Like I didn't really like hip alignment, just different things, just like unnatural things, switching from the left to the right side. So at first it was a big transition. I struggled with it a lot, but like I would work like after practice, just pay attention more to like different techniques and stuff like that. Yeah. And Coach Davis would really help me like every single day to get me better and help like hold me accountable. Yeah. So all those aspects really tied into me developing to be like a good right side player. Absolutely. So I feel as though I'm more versatile now.
All Conference USA last season for Florida International, offensive tackle, a huge addition to the offensive line. And then on the other side of the ball, LSU, probably their most talented group. If you're just looking at the roster as a position, kind of unit by unit, you would look at the defensive line group and you would say, just your eyeballs would say, good Lord, they look like they got a couple of pros in that rotation. They look very talented. They look very deep. And then you get a transfer in the offseason from Missouri and Mekhi Wingo, who is a freshman All-SEC player, and he ends up in Baton Rouge, and he's on our set here today too, man. Thank you for joining us. It's good to see you.
Appreciate you for having me.
Same question to you, man. How did you end up in Baton Rouge? I think it says a lot about your character to look at LSU and their defensive line room coming off the year that you had and say, you know what, I want to go there. How did you end up in Baton Rouge?
Honestly, when I first hit the portal, a guy from 247 he had reached out to me. And he
Shea
told
Dixon?
Me, huh?
Was it Shea?
No, not even from LA, not even from LSU.
Wow.
Just somebody I know that worked for 247. He said when I hit the portal, he called me and said, you know, you're the top D lineman in the portal. He said any school that needs a defensive tackle will be calling your phone. And I think LSU called me maybe that first or second night, and just with the history of LSU, like, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. It's LSU. And just with guys like Mason and J. Roy here, I knew I wanted to come and play around guys that was just as good as me and on the same skill set. And, you know, I feel like we can be a dominant D-line. And especially with my old high school head coach being here, being the corners coach, this was definitely an attractive spot for me.
Coach Steeples.
Yep.
Man, we have heard a lot of good stuff about him. There have been a lot of guys that have come through this studio since spring has been happening and since Coach Kelly has taken over and the new staff has hit, and a lot of people mention his name. It doesn't matter the position group. You played for him in high school. Now you're on his staff here with LSU as a player. What is it about him that makes him so special? How does he touch you guys, it seems like, as a coach so much?
One thing he can do, he can motivate men. That's like he's going to get every last bit out of you, you know what I'm saying, that you got. Like, he's just one of those guys that he's real. He pays attention to detail and things like that, and he knows how to come off to you as a coach. He's not one of those guys that's going to be all loud and yell at you and things like that. he's just going to demand greatness out of you, and you respect that in the coach.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned Coach Davis, your position coach. He was one of the guys that was hired by the old staff but was able to stay on and was retained by Coach Kelly. A lot of people looked at him as a dominant recruiter when he was hired last season, but then after a year of fundamental and watching him teach his craft on the field, you can see that he is a really good technical offensive line coach. You've been with him just a short time. What has Coach Davis meant to you, and what have you learned from him up to this point?
Well, a big reason why I came here was because of Coach Davis, from the fact that I can really relate to him, like his story, his background. He's the African-American head coach, offensive line coach. Yeah. And
served as the interim here at LSU, which
yes,
was
sir.
the first.
And that was big
Yeah.
to know that LSU had the faith in him to have such a big role. I would say he's a technician, and he just coaches on the little thing, the fraction of seconds. And he always says the fraction of seconds is what gets you paid and what doesn't.
Wow.
So basically everything we slow down film to the very slowest second in order to critique us in the best way possible. A lot of the stuff he tries to do is break bad habits, because coming from old school, it's two different techniques that we learn. So basically he's big on habits and fractions of seconds, because he always says that basically those are the difference between
Winning
going
and
first
losing.
round and not getting drafted at all. So.
Yeah. People told me when you were being recruited that your footwork is very impressive.
Yes,
I guess
sir.
you're an athlete.
Yes, sir.
How have you seen your game improve? How have you seen your game improve in just a short time at LSU under Coach Davis?
I would say it's a mix between the strength staff and Coach Davis.
Yeah.
I feel as though they positioned us the things we do here. I've never done anything weight room wise, preparing for practice, getting our joints loose and everything like that. So I feel as though that plays a big role in my development as an offensive lineman. I feel as though Coach Flint from Notre Dame developed great offensive linemen, and it's carrying over to here with footwork, just a lot of more flexibility, things like that. And Coach Davis also teaches hip placement, everything with your joints, ankles. He always says you have to have a lift track, so everything has to be in line. So basically, a mix between all of that really helps us transition as offensive linemen.
Your position coach, Coach Kane, was a huge addition when it was announced. Not only did LSU take him from Oklahoma, but they were preventing him from going other places that I know a lot of people in the country wanted him.
Right.
What has it been like playing for him up to this point? And same kind of question that we asked Miles. How have you seen your game maybe improve in just the short time that you've been under his tutelage?
I love playing for Coach Kane. One thing, he demands greatness. He's not going to let you slack off. He always says, it's LSU. This not a place you come to wait your turn. So he tries to get it out of everybody every single day. And he coaches us hard. And, I can appreciate that, because he's on all of us. He's not letting us slack. So he truly cares about us being great players. And he's very knowledgeable of the game. This only my second year. This going on my second season. I've been through 3 D-line coaches already.
Wow.
He my third. Being around all those guys and then coming to Coach Kane, he's very knowledgeable in the game. He knows what he's talking about.
Do you agree with what I said earlier about the defensive line? It seemed like y'all are the deepest and most talented group going into the season. Where do you kind of, after practicing 15 practices alongside those guys, what do you think about the group as a whole, and kind of where do you fit in now that you've been on the field?
Yeah, we got some guys here, man. Mason, he can do everything. Yeah. Tank, Jacoby and Guillory. He's coming along for real. Yeah, he's a good nose for us. He's been stout in the run game and things like that. And I'm learning. I'm getting better in the run game and things like that. But I think I can give us that spark on third down. Really, that's my specialty. I'm a pass rusher. But just getting acclimated with the system and things like that, it's been smooth, honestly.
Yeah.
And everybody, we work well together. Spring I'm just learning the different things I can do with who I'm on the field with. Just learning what Ali Gay might like to do and learning what Tank might do and J-Roy to make me, perform better and work off of them.
Mekhi Wingo, defensive tackle transfer from Missouri. Miles Frazier, offensive line transfer from, why do I want to keep saying South Florida? That's right.
FIU.
Yeah, FIU, Florida International, and all-conference player, both of them transferring in to LSU. Same question for both of you. I'll start with you, Big Miles. Brian Kelly, what's it been like playing for him? And you mentioned that y'all's relationship goes back. Where did it start?
Coach Kelly is an unbelievable coach, honestly. Like, just when he got here, he expected excellence, just like how he said Coach Kane does, how Coach Davis does, just excellence. We build, like, habits and stuff like that. So he basically started from the baseline to trying to change the program from bad habits to get to, like, basically the next level to elevate the program. I feel as though he cares about each of us individually in, like, our own different way, and just wants to see us, like, exceed, like, to be the best we could be, because he knows we have talent, and he knows, like, we can really do some big things in the SEC. So basically, Coach Kelly, just the high expectation, I really like that about him, because I like to be held to a higher standard. So basically, yeah, he's just phenomenal.
About Mekhi, for you, what did Kelly mean for you in recruiting or to getting here? And once you got here, what have you learned, or what have you seen from his style?
I always say his track record speaks for itself. Everywhere he's been, he's turned the program around. And like I always say, LSU's not a program that needs to be turned around just to get back on track. And he's the guy for that. So really it was a no-brainer for me. And just his attention to detail on things like, just like the catapults we were during practice. Like, he really checks those numbers and give you feedback like, you need to go harder. You didn't go hard enough today, or you didn't get the correct load. You didn't run enough today, and things like that. Like, his attention to detail is what makes him elite, I feel like.
Tell me about the SWAT teams. What have you learned being a part of the SWAT? Where do you kind of fit in on the SWAT? And
Are y'all on the same SWAT?
How's
we
it work?
actually just changed it.
Yeah,
so
we captains now. I'm a captain, he a captain.
I'm a
We're
captain.
Wow.
going against each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple of captains in here.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about the SWAT team, and what does it mean to be a captain?
It means everything. Just coming here 3 months ago, like, just to be around these guys, lifting every day, working out every day, going to the classroom, it just, like, it feels like I have a purpose on this team, and I just don't want to let my brothers down, for real. So, like, the SWAT teams, when we first got here, they SWAT, like, they count everything. So academics, weight room numbers, catapult numbers, like he said on the GPS, like how fast you run and stuff like that, and all tallies within the teams. So, like, each team, like, each week, a team will win based on, like, people being above the standard line and for winning points for that team. So I always thought I was in a pretty good team. We won one time, but we were don't do that. We won one time, but we were pretty. We had a group of hard workers. We picked today new teams. Like, we had a draft, and I feel as though my team honestly will be the best team, and basically based on the character of our players. Like, mainly they're all on time, and basically we're gonna take it.
How do you become a captain? How did you learn that you were a captain?
Coach Flint, the strength coach, had let us know. And to me, like, becoming a SWAT team captain, I just came in here, put my head down, went to work, bought in, and to me, it feels as if I've earned the respect of my teammates and the coaches. You know what I mean? Just being a new guy, I didn't come in trying to step on no toes or anything like that. Just trying to work and do what I can to help the team win.
We got some listeners with a question here. Cody Boudreaux, who's a listener, asks the catapult numbers. Can you explain a little bit more what that means?
So basically, Coach Kelly is very technical with, like, the science of things like that. So the catapult, we wear a GPS system whenever we do like running exercises and stuff like that. So, for example, yesterday we had 10-yard fly, 20. What was it?
10-yard flies.
10-yard flies, and, like, it calculates in the group. We have to build up. We start in a stance and, like, an upward stance, and it builds up. We have to build up momentum to get our maximum speed. So all of that translates into the data, and then they can tell us our numbers based on, like, how fast we ran, our hit score, which is our score, like, based on our weight, how fast. Like, say if I was pulling, and I have a high hit score, that would be, like, the force that I'm using to So basically, like, everything is technical with the
it's measuring your effort.
Yeah, even with conditioning, like, going back and forth. Like how fast you run, how far you run, your heart, everything.
How often are y'all thinking about the catapult when you're all exercising? Like, God damn it, this catapult's on me. I know I'm not. Like, I feel like I might look like I'm going hard, but this thing's gonna tell the truth.
Yeah, during practice. Yeah.
I don't worry about it because I go.
Yeah.
I always have the highest
Yeah.
workload. Like, I go.
Yeah,
hear
that's
you.
the way. That's one
I'd
way.
be
That's one
tired
way to
too,
avoid
like-
it. Yeah. I asked him about the personnel in his group. It's a very impressive group when you look at that defensive line. From the offensive line, there was a lot of new faces. There's a lot of guys that are going to be expected to step in and play.
Yes, sir.
You being one of them. What did you make of that group going through the spring? I know that Will Campbell, the true freshman, stood out for a lot of people. But what
Yes,
did
sir.
what did you make of the overall unit of the offensive line?
Well, it started rough, but I feel as though we're gelling a lot. Mainly, a lot of us are playing in new, like not just me, are playing in new, different positions. So, like we would always meet before everybody else meets on the whole team. Like our meetings would start at 3:30. Well, the team meeting would start at 3:30, but we'll meet there at 2:30, and then we'll just do all that, put the time in extra. So Coach Davis was just big on just developing us as a group to gel. So he would mix up the rotation different ways and like see what would work. But I feel as though what's different between my old school and this school is basically I have to learn everything. I have to know what the center has to do. I have to know what the right guard, left tackle, everything to be more versatile. So if push comes to shove, I have to go to left tackle, to right tackle, to any other position, like I can master that. So I feel as though with each person individually knowing every single job, we were able to be on the same page, like quite often. So
How cool was it when Tyrann Mathieu came through?
He real, man.
Yeah.
It was amazing, honestly. Like, every school in the country had former guys come through and talk, but it was really different. Like, everyone was tuned in when he was speaking. Like, you can tell he really meant it. It wasn't just, for no video or just to get back to his school. He meant what he was saying to us, and he was giving us some good info.
What did you take away from listening to him speak?
basically just the hard work and trusting what your coaches say. Like when I first got here, I was like wishy-washy about the switching to right side, guard, like different positions and stuff like that.
Did you doubt your decision? When they
you
were
mean?
asking you to switch positions, were you doubting, like, should I come to LSU?
No, because I feel as though, like, I'm in the right spot, like, at the right time where Coach Kelly and Coach Davis can position me into being the best offensive lineman. And I feel as though that can make me versatile for the next level.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really, like, questioning it like that. It was just, like, hard, like, breaking bad habits and just different things like that. But it really, switching positions, honestly, was like one of the best decisions because now I know way more stuff. So like on the draft board, I see like Alex Leatherwood from
Alabama.
From Alabama, they moved him to right guard.
Yeah,
he was left tackle at Alabama. Evan Neal, he played left tackle, right tackle, and right guard. So I just feel as though the versatility aspect.
And physically, when you walked into the studio, I told you this. You look like La'el Collins. You physically look like him. And Collins played guard as a sophomore. And then ended up playing tackle, was drafted as a tackle, but the top line on his scouting report was versatility. That's what they were selling. I didn't mean to move you on from the Tyrann Mathieu thought. What did you take away from him speaking to you?
Just trusting the process. He told us that he makes plays by just trusting his coach. He doesn't just, a lot of people just think he just goes out and just does whatever he wants and just makes plays off of instinct. He basically just said he just trusts the process, trusts what the coach tells him to do, and he's just at the right place where the coach tells him to do. He just,
He sat in this chair for about an hour-long interview when he came through, and we asked him about Matt House, and he just could not stop talking about how great it was to play for House, how prepared he was. And House was the linebackers coach for Kansas City, wasn't even the coordinator. You've gone through spring now as a defensive lineman under House's scheme. What have you taken away from his direction?
Just he's going to be like a multiple front defense, and just like everybody else, his attention to detail is crazy. Like we'll go in film, and he's gonna critique every position. He can really coach every single position. So that's what I take away most from him. And like his two main words that he always say is grit and strain. Like you got to have it. We got to strain to the ball. We got to get up the stack. We got to chase the ball. Just things like that. Just like he always said, if you play fast, everything else will follow. Really. So.
What did you learn playing in the SEC last year? How was that transition from high school to Southeastern Conference football? And have you been able to kind of I see the look. I'd imagine y'all talked about that, right? Yeah. Give me some of those conversations. What are they like?
Yeah, I always make fun of him, telling him he ain't played in the SEC before and things like that. But that's what I would say. I feel like going to Mizzou my first year was the right decision for me because I needed to go somewhere where I could get on the field early and kind of get the experience.
Yeah.
And so I was thrown in that fire quick. So like I had to adjust quick. It took me a minute, I would say because I came in the fall at Mizzou, or the summer. So it took about 2 weeks of probably in pads for me to actually get used to the speed and just how fast everybody moving. But I had a pretty good D-line coach in high school. So I would say technical-wise, I kind of knew a little bit, but it was a big adjustment, I would say.
Yeah.
Just going from high school to the SEC, it's different.
Are you looking forward to stepping up in playing
Yes,
in
sir.
this class? Yeah.
Yes, sir. In order to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Yeah.
So I feel as though the NFL's here, SEC right there.
It's minor
so
league. It feels like minor league. Yeah.
Basically. So I'm just trying to show my talents to where he always tells me that a scout would rather take a good player from the SEC rather than a great player from the ACC or the Big Ten because
That's true.
Yeah, this is the SEC West. So
yeah.
You're gonna go against first rounders, and I'll strive to be a first rounder. So
y'all must be going against each other in practice all the time. Is
No
this
doubt.
where this is coming from?
No doubt. Because I was going to ask you next. Explain his game. You explain his game. It seems like y'all, because y'all have great chemistry. It seems like y'all's friendship is very real.
Yes, sir,
Oh, for sure.
So you explain his game. How was it going up against him in spring?
Oh, he's versatile for sure.
SEC caliber?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. He's SEC caliber. He gonna get it done, but no pun intended.
Hey, Gordon, you gotta sign this guy too now.
But yeah, he's versatile. So he's been at literally left, right tackle, left guard, right guard. I remember the first time they put him in the right guard, I was surprised. I'm like, what? What you doing? But yeah, he's just been working, man. So I would say he's very technical in the pass game. You know what I'm saying? He's very. You know what I'm saying? He has very good feet, so I'll say he is an athlete, and he's good with his hands. So I'll say he's an elite pass blocker for sure. And then run, you know what I'm saying? He a big dude, so he obviously hard to handle. So,
For sure.
So he's a good player, though.
How about Mekhi's game?
Just effort. He just out effort. We'll do something 88, so 8 plays, fast tempo and stuff like that, and he always just has the most effort, out of anybody.
Get you paid, bro. That
pass rush, especially in the spring game.
Yeah.
It came to long drives, and he just still going hard as he can. So and in the run game, I'm not trying to violate. I'm not trying to violate, but he's shorter, which makes it. I always say, which gives him an advantage because he gets he can get under you.
Hey, bro, I feel you,
it's
man.
not
I
that
know how it
easy,
is.
I always say that.
I always tell him it's not that easy just because I'm shorter don't mean nothing.
He literally,
it's harder.
Yeah, but he can get in on you, right? I mean,
hands and he shoots his hands very quick. So it's hard to I always get coached on getting my first and second step to drive, and when I get my first one, he's shooting his hands, so it'd be hard to get the second one.
Right.
And he's lower, so he got leverage. So
yeah, it's over.
yeah, he got it.
You mentioned NIL, and Gordon is a supporter of our show and is great in our community. What has that been like? NIL, Super Bowl commercial. It seems like he's signed everybody. My man Mekhi is making a pitch here. We need to get him on the team. We need to get it done.
Take the shirt off his back.
That's right. But what's that been like? What's NIL? And how much did NIL mean in recruiting?
It meant now the NIL factor does play a big role in recruiting. A lot of the coaches would basically just say we can help you get NIL deals. We can do this. We can do that. So it's not really everything because at the end of the day, it's not really about the NIL. It's about playing, playing for the school, trying to get to the next level. So, but with the whole Gordon situation, that was an unbelievable experience. And the people I wish he was out there too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna get that done.
No doubt.
We're getting that
but
done.
the people like Kyron, Kayshawn, Malik, Greg, everyone that he surrounded the group with. I feel it's like a phenomenal group. Like like after that, I didn't really know them, but after that, we really gelled, playing the game and stuff like that. So I feel as though like it builds like a family like atmosphere like outside of football.
Yeah.
But the Super Bowl commercial, my mom was going crazy. Everybody loved it. The chefs at the football ops, they talk about it. Mm-hmm. So like that was just an experience in itself, like that I never thought would happen type thing. So.
Yeah. How cool are the LSU facilities? I think we see them as media members, fans. People see that, but you guys live it, have access to it every single day. How forward, how advanced are the LSU facilities?
I mean, they top tier in the nation. Like when we came, he might have come like a week or two before me. So like we always used to say like, man, and I came from an SEC school, but when you get here, it's like, man, like
every
we
day
at LSU,
like, wow, like for real,
find something else.
Like this is different. Like this indoors, this locker room is different, and the Cavs, we got the best food in the nation.
Yeah.
I wanted
Johnson,
to bring it up.
Facts.
I
We
wanted
got
to bring
the
it up.
best.
I didn't want to seem fat.
Chef Michael Johnson. That's my guy, man. I love Chef Johnson now.
That food is amazing. So like it's just everything is just next level here, honestly.
What did you think of the true freshman Will Campbell?
Unbelievable. Like he can really be a dude. He comes in like when I first seen him, like him and Quincy, they're both like a different type of freshman. Like you don't get guys like them like often. So like I feel as though like you got to put in everything to him. So like basically every single day we battle on the O-line basically remember the catapult and the SWAT team and all that. We battle for the numbers, highest weight room, highest, and he actually leads the O-line.
Wow.
In SWAT team points.
Wow.
So yeah, he has a like unbelievable upside in my opinion.
Quincy is your roommate. Quincy
Big
Wiggins
country.
is man. He's a huge friend of our show. We've been watching Quincy play for a long time. Started off as a basketball player, then went on the football field. He fastly became one of the top recruits in the country. What have you seen from him early on that makes him stand out?
I mean, Quincy's unbelievable. First off, he's 6'5", 280.
Yeah, he looks like Adonis.
Yeah, like he looks NFL ready already. But he's one of the guys. He's one of those guys. He's willing to learn. That's what I love about Quincy. When I first got here, I was going to the indoor doing D-line drills and stuff, and he's coming with me. Like he's meeting me over there, and he's walking. Like he wasn't even my roommate at the time, but he meeting me there, getting work in, and just he's coachable.
Yeah,
that's the thing about it. He's willing to learn, and it's gonna be scary for the SEC.
I bet, man. We appreciate y'all spending this time with us, man, and answering our questions. It's cool. I know the fans, they love it. It seems like this team is tight. It seems like everybody that comes through here, y'all respect one another. Y'all look out for one another. I mean, your friendship seems very real. Tell me that part about the group, because it seems like you guys have a team that, if nothing else, respects one another in the locker room.
I feel as though it's like just not even just me and him, like me with the O-line, like everything is just so tight. Like when I came in here, I didn't know what to expect, what the locker room was going to be like and different things. But everyone for real welcomed us with like open arms, like basically just trying to win a natty, just try to get back to that stature. So basically like everything is just the D-line group is tight, just like this. O-line tight, receivers with quarterback relationship tight. I just feel as though like everything. I feel as though that started with Coach Kelly, like saying like the brotherhood, like and it all just came together so fast. Type thing.
I don't want to put you on any spot. You don't have to tell me a player, but the quarterback competition on this team is very intriguing. It feels like whoever you go with, you could win. What did you guys make of that competition throughout the last couple of weeks?
I feel as though like just me, I'm a get it done with like blocking for any of them, because those are all my guys. I have a different relationship with each of them, but I feel as though like the competition level is like exceptional.
It's
like
fierce.
They battle like every practice is like the last practice they ever gonna have type thing. Like for real, like they really. So I don't even know who they'll go with, but as an offensive line, I feel as though we're in good hands with whatever. Like for real, because they just work. They're in the. I've seen Nuss in the film room late at nights, different things. I see Jaden watching film like by himself in the what is it, the Cox Center. I've seen Miles getting extra work with the guys. I seen Walker right with Miles getting extra in Nuss and all them. So like, I just feel as though they just work. So I feel as though they are gonna play their role, whatever role they get. But I feel as though it's just they're just all dogs to me.
From defending them, are they very different in style, right? All three of them, huh?
Yeah, they different. They all great quarterbacks.
Sure.
Though.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they all
and
can
I don't
throw
mean
that
it in
thing.
any way. I know that they all have a special skill set,
Yeah,
right?
I
Like
would
they're all
say-
good in their own right.
Oh, for sure. They all can sling the rock, but that man Jaden, he fast.
Yeah, he
a-
did
that-
look like some
That's a fast dude.
some spots on Saturday, whether it was live or controlled, it didn't
Yeah.
matter. It looked like
He was going 80.
Yeah, right, right. Thank you, fellas.
I
Appreciate it, man.
appreciate you.
What's the goal of the off season? Like, how does the off season work? I guess nobody's leaving, huh? Everybody's staying in Baton Rouge for the
For
the
so
off-season.
summer's about to start. Hopefully we all come back. Like everybody comes back, and it's basically just player ran. But we hold, like, as a team collectively, I feel as though we all hold each other accountable. So like we're gonna be getting extra work even without the coaches, because now it's like they can't really they can't really do things with us and things like that. But we're gonna get work whenever we can. The optional work we're just gonna grind. That's all we can do.
Great representatives of LSU football. Another two guys that have come through here and have talked glowingly about the offseason, spring, and what expectation is here in year one under Brian Kelly. Two guys that are going to make a huge impact. Miles Frazier on the offensive line and Mekhi Wingo on the defensive line. Really good insight and information, fellas. Enjoy the weekend. Great to see you guys.
I
Thank
appreciate
you. Special edition of the Jordy Culotta Show. Thank you for joining us. Make sure and like, share, spread the word, interact with us. Get this thing in front of as many people as possible. This thing was brought to you today by our friends over at Gordon McKernan. Make sure and get it done. The G
Get it
team,
done.
the G squad.
Get it done.
Yeah, that's right. Mekhi Wingo. He'll be over there as soon as he'll be over there about 10 minutes. G signing this deal. So we appreciate Gordon McKernan for always supporting what we're doing. And obviously, you see the impact that he's having with the NIL stuff with a big guy like Miles Frazier on his team, a part of the G Squad. Have a great weekend. We'll be back with you Monday morning, 7 a.m.